Positive Thursday. Again, good energy by the guys. Thought the attention to detail was what we've been looking for and striving for here for the last 2 weeks. I know everybody, coaches, players, everybody is chomping at the bit to get back into the Coliseum. It's been almost a month now. It seems like a long time ago since the Fresno game. So, we're excited for the opportunity. Got a little ways to wait, obviously, with the night kickoff, 7:30 kickoff. But I know the guys are excited to get back on the field and go play some football.
Is there any challenge in that, the lateness of the kickoff, especially since you guys practice early and then just kind of have that long day?
Well, I think it's, the uniqueness is you're obviously at the hotel and you try to break up the day to where they're not just in their room all day long. So, obviously the meals throughout the day are mandatory, and then we do some different walkthroughs and meetings just to make sure so that we can get them out of the room and get them outside a little bit. But, I guess the challenge partly is to keep them moving. But these guys, as we were talking today, they only get 13 times a year to go do what they get to do, to show who they are. So our adrenaline will be pumping pretty good come 7:30.
Oregon State averages 30 seconds per play, which is the slowest in the Pac-12. Do you think that that's an advantage that they have such a different pace compared to the rest of the conference, and how do you prepare for that?
Well, the advantage is if we let them convert on third downs, and I think that's a big component in the ball game. Which team is extending their drives? We're a lot better when we're extending our own drives. When we're good on first down, we're converting third downs, and we can play at the pace we want to play at. Obviously, for Oregon State, it works the other way for them too. If they're doing really well on 1st and 10, they get makeable third downs, they convert third downs, then the pace of play goes in their direction. So it'll be interesting to watch to see which team can kind of control the tempo and play at the pace that they want to play at.
You mentioned a couple times this week the whole 1st and 10 thing. Upon examining that, have you noticed any sort of trends or patterns, or just simply not been good enough on first?
Yeah, we just need to improve our execution. We need to improve the play calls. It's a bigger down than probably people give it credit for. Everybody likes to focus on third down. Everybody likes to focus on the red zone plays and goal line or whatever it is. But 1st and 10 really sets all of that stuff up. And we've made it a point of emphasis to win 1st and 10s. We've been competing on 1st and 10s, goods on goods, and so hopefully our execution is better.
Anyone in the last 2 weeks, Steve, stepped up or made some big stride that might afford them more opportunity?
I think quite a few guys have improved, which is the positive part. Obviously we've talked about what Adori's been able to do on the defensive side of the ball. I think Ajane Harris is another guy who's proven himself some. I think Andre Walker has really started to turn the corner a little bit, which has been encouraging. So those are the guys that really kind of jump out initially at me. We're looking forward to hopefully we can get John Plattenberg, now that he's healthy, a little bit more playing time. Chenna Nwosu is another guy who has really vastly improved. He's done a great job on special teams, so hopefully we can get him involved a little bit more as well.
Would you expect Walker to play in this game or to play more?
Potentially. Zach's done a good job for us at right tackle, but again, the idea is that we play at such a pace and run enough plays to where we need to rotate guys, and we've been looking for a nice rotation over there, so hopefully Andre can provide that for us.
How crucial is it to get back to the goal was 80 plays a game and it's 65 the last?
I think it's important. It's obviously it's who we are. It's the personality of this team, and when you don't play to your strengths and you don't play to your personality, that's when the game can get hard. And we've obviously felt the effects of that some offensively here the last couple of weeks, and so it'll be good for us to be efficient. Again, especially on 1st and 10, to get things started, to convert third downs. That's really when we're at our best, when we can extend drives and get some momentum. So we need to have a good plan, and it's not just early in the game, it's for every drive, and we need to do a really good job as a staff making sure we're understanding what we're trying to get accomplished early in drives, so that we're effective and efficient and the players know what we're doing, because that's when we're at our best. When we get 5, 6, 7, 8 plays into a drive, that's when we're at our best.
What do you think sets Sean Mannion apart from other Pac-12 quarterbacks, and what makes him so difficult to defend?
Well, he's played a lot of football. He's a very experienced guy. He's in a system that is conducive to his skill set. He's a big, strong arm guy that is in a system that utilizes those strengths, the play action game, the throw it down the field. He's got really good pocket presence. He stands in the pocket tall. He can see over the lineman because he is so tall. And he throws an accurate ball. I think every quarterback is in a different system in our conference. You can look at just about every team, but for whatever reason, I think the mesh with Sean and what Coach Riley does is a really good one.
How are Yushena and Khalil? Are they going to be able to play?
I'm sorry?
Yushena and Khalil?
Yeah, they'll both be available to us. To what extent, we don't know. We're over 48 hours from kickoff, so we got quite a bit of time for those guys to make sure they're 100% healthy, ready to go. But I would imagine that they'll be available for us.
You mentioned personality and maximizing and playing to your personality, and it's real easy to say this is what Oregon State is. What, in the same way, what's USC? What is that?
Dan, it's one thing for me to say it. It's another for us to go do it. We're 3 games into this thing, and this is a process that we knew was going to be a journey. We knew it was going to be a long one. This wasn't going to happen overnight. Obviously, we love to play at great tempo. We love to utilize the athletes that we have on our roster to get the ball to them in space, whether it's in the run game or the passing game. We'd love to be a football team that can run the football and be physical at the point of attack. That is an attacking defense that creates turnovers, plays great in the red zone, but we have to ultimately go do that. And again, we're just in the infancy stages of the development of this program and the direction that we want to take it. We're 3 games in. The next step is Saturday night at 7:30, and hopefully we can move in the direction of the team that we want to become.
You mentioned earlier this week how you acknowledge that it's a young team and there's freshmen in a lot of different spots, yet you also want them to be at their best and you want to win as soon as possible. Is that difficult as a coach to kind of juggle those 2 things?
I don't know if necessarily it's difficult. I think as a coach, we all have unique challenges depending on your roster, your team, your weather elements, or whatever. We all have different things in different places, and that just happens to be, a couple of our issues right now. So I don't know necessarily if it makes it difficult. It's just something that we have to focus on. We have to understand our roster. We have to understand the depth on our roster. We have to understand some of the youth that we have at different positions, and we have to make sure that we're giving our players the best chance to go on the field and be successful. Whether that's through scheme, whether it's through fundamentals, techniques, whether it's through if everybody's in the right position, and that's all part of learning your team. And again, we're 3 games into this thing. For some of these guys, they've only played 3 college football games in their life, and so we're still figuring that out. But that's why you love coming to work every day, and that's why you love coming out to practice and helping players develop and finding schemes that best fit the personality and skill sets of your team. And and that's what also keeps you up at night, but that's part of being a coach. That's why we love what we get to do.
Let's do one more.
What have you learned about this team in those 3 games?
We got awesome kids, man. These guys, their resolve is amazing. They've worked extremely hard here, especially over the last 2 weeks, but all the way through since the day I've gotten here. I mean, their willingness to accept us, to accept some of the newness, to accept the tough coaching, to want to get better. I've been very appreciative of that, and I can accept that every day of the week, and knowing that every time we take the field, these guys are going to work hard. And we're not perfect, and I don't expect us to be perfect Saturday night, but I do expect us to play hard, to play physical, to play smart football, and to play better football than we played. And I think that's what we'll see Saturday night.
Good.